How you doing, world? My name is JJ, and I'm your host with African American News Channel. Now, today we have some very interesting videos for you guys. So grab your popcorn, grab you some cold to drink, and come right back, because you don't want to miss this, and you don't want to miss this. Now, before we get started in today's videos, me and the company over here at African American News Channel has started a logo and branding production company. So anybody who's starting a clothing brand, who have any type of business, hair business, food business, any type of business, or any type of brand that need a top of the line logo, please read the description. We will have the website in the description where you can visit the website and buy pre-made logos that we already made. Once you buy a logo, you will own full rights to the logo. The logo will only be sold to you. It won't be sold twice. It will be your logo. You will also receive a transparent copy of the logo to fit in any background, any setting. And if you guys want custom logos, then it will be a number on the website where you can contact us to get your custom logo done. Yeah. Now, our first video is about an African American woman who is talking about the roles of Jericho. Watch this video.
So, do you know what this is? What this plant is? It's a closed up rose of Jericho. Now, many times people have been introduced to this plant if you do some kind of magic or some kind of metaphysical practice in which you are drawing in something to you. So many times people will tell you to place this plant, that's a desert plant, into a bowl of water, and as it soaks up the water, it grows out and opens into this beautiful green, lush plant. And according to whatever practice you go into, some say the water is good for bringing in abundance. Others say you can do new and full moon rituals in which you put things inside of the rose that you want to manifest, plus many of other things, depending upon how you understand the use of that plant. But did you also know that the Rose of Jericho was a plant used by African American midwives who were also hoodoo practitioners as a means to determine the timing of actual birth? Let's get into that. So hi, my name is Dr. Nicole Truesdell. I'm an anthropologist, an abolitionist, scholar, and teacher. Now, in my Patreon and for my BIPOC book club, we're finishing up reading Mojo Working, which is right here. And in it, Katrina talks about the ways of African-American hoodoo being heavily rooted in healing practices and healing modalities. And one way that this showed itself was through midwives, because midwives, along with conjurers and two-headed doctors, were big parts of the African-American hoodoo tradition and community. So if you went to a midwife, you were going to them because they had knowledge of how to both bring in life, but also how to keep death at its door. And they used the Rose of Jericho. When they put it in the water, they would light a pipe. And in doing that, depending upon how long it would take the rose to open up, would help them understand and determine how long a baby would be able to come. And not anyone can be a midwife. Like, it was an actual apprenticeship style position in the community that one had to go through a rigorous training with another midwife in order to be able to call themselves a midwife. But as time went on and the medical profession in the United States started to become more professionalized, especially OBGYN, obstetrics and gynecology, what you then see are laws being put into place along with strict process and procedures that would then essentially start to outlaw midwifery. And to read more about this, I recommend Dorothy Roberts' Killing the Black Body to understand that process. So always remember this, African American hoodoo is not just about the magic and the candles, that's just one part of it. It's also about healing and passing on those healing modalities through the generations. So when you're engaging with hoodoo, remember that it is a practice that not only helped us survive, but is also reminding us that we are so much more than what society told us we are. All right, so like, share, and follow for more.
How'd you guys like that video? Was she right or was she wrong? Comment below. Now, my next video is about an African American woman who says she hate being black. Woo! Please pray for this lady. Watch this video.
I hate being black. I love myself and I love what I look like and I'm proud of being a black person, but I hate being black because I hate all the things that comes with being black. When black people talk about like all the things that we deal with, race, white people always think, oh, it's just racism, or it's just, the effects of slavery, or it's just this, or it's just that. Like, I don't think that you guys understand, like, it's everything. If I go to a restaurant, my server is not going to come check on me ever. Like, I don't get good customer service, or I get seated in some dark corner somewhere every time I go out. If there's a group of white people behind me that came in after me, but there's only one table available, they're going to get the table. That actually just happened to me just now, which is why I'm actually making this video, because I was thinking about how much I hate the way society treats me. And being an alternative black girl doesn't make that any easier. I don't know how many times I have to say this, or if I even should have to say this. I know that I have an alternative appearance. I know that I have a ton of piercings. I know that I wear makeup, and I may not wear the most, reserved outfits ever in the world. Although tonight I'm pretty fucking reserved, but that's besides the point. I totally get it. I know what I look like. But at the same time, I just feel like what I look like should not warrant the amount of unhealthy, bad attention that I get. Like the other day, when I made that video, like putting up the posters, like the Bad Girls Club posters on Melrose, literally my manager, after we walked away, he's white, by the way, he told me, he said, I didn't realize like how many dirty looks you get. Like, people are really just so angry, like, just seeing you. Like, every time they see you, like, I see people giving you the most dirty looks from their car and pointing at you and giving you faces. And I had to tell him, like, all my friends tell me that. I'm used to it. I'm 100% used to it. Like, I'm used to it. I'm used to getting looks, and I'm used to getting dirty looks, and I'm used to getting a whole bunch of things. I've been harassed. I've been, hate crimed. Not hate crimed, but I've definitely been called racial slurs or dealt with racism just like outside on the go. At what point do you really blame people for being angry? At what point do you blame people? Like, I drive in my car, I drive alone. I make sure that I keep my car like slightly dirty so that my car doesn't look, and I have a Hyundai. I don't have a glamorous car, but I make sure that it's like not too clean and flashy because I don't want the police to pull me over. I don't even want to get a nice car in the future because I think to myself, well, if I get a nice car, the police are going to pull me over more. I can't fucking do anything. I can't do anything. And don't even get me. Colorism is everywhere. Racism is everywhere. It's in everywhere and everything and everyone. Like, I'm tired. I'm fucking tired. I hate it.
How'd you guys feel about that video? Was she right for feeling the way she feel? Or was she wrong for feeling the way she feel? Comment below. Now, my next video is about an African woman who says, to my African people, you need to rest. Life is too short. Ain't she right? Watch this video.
My fellow Nigerians, all of you that are in UK, US, Europe, wherever you find yourselves, take it easy. Take it easy. The way you guys walk as if the job is running away from you. The way you guys stress yourselves, it's becoming alarming. If you know the number of people that break down on a daily basis, you will be shocked. You will even be scared of yourself. You'll be scared of your body to know that there is just a thin line between death and life. A lot of us hardly go for medical checkups, even though we're in a country where some of these things are free. A lot of us hardly go for our eye checkups because we commonize these things. It's like, I beg, it's not important. A lot of us hardly have breaks. When you even mention holidays, it's like a big deal. Sometimes we even start to convert the money we will spend for the holiday. We convert it into our naira, how we will use it back home, what it will be, it will help us to achieve back home. Life is quite short. Enjoy it while you are alive. Those people you are making all this money for back at home, the very moment you drop dead, bam, the highest they will mourn you is 3-4 months. Life goes on. That office you are working for, that care home, that support work, wherever it is you are working, that you keep packing shift upon shift, overtime upon overtime, and doing all manner of cleaning jobs, all manner of manual, stressful, warehouse, all manner of stressful jobs. The moment you drop dead, you will be replaced. You will be replaced as soon as possible. Your absence there doesn't ground the operations of that company. Know this and know peace. That is why you should take care of yourself. Once in a while, treat yourself. Once in a while, pamper yourself. Once in a while, take yourself out. If you cannot afford to travel out for holidays, travel within the country where you live. Save some money. Go on a holiday to the next city or to the, just something, anywhere you can afford. Stay in a hotel. Look for an affordable one you can spend the night or two. Sleep. Have some time to yourself. Eat good food. Don't only work, save the money and send it back home. Spend that money, cook good food, eat good food, drink good wine. Enjoy your money. Because the moment you drop dead due to stress, your chapter is closed. Whatever you think you have been doing for your family, or you've been doing for friends, or you've been doing for people, that comes to an end, and they will look for someone else who will take it up from where you stopped. Know this and know peace.
I'm back. How did you guys feel about that video? Was she right or was she wrong? Comment below. Now, my next video is about an African American man who says black people think the only way black people win is if white people lose. Ooh, watch this video.
About 3,700 free blacks who owned 12,000 slaves, black slaves. The question is, do the descendants of those free blacks who owned black slaves, do they pay? Blacks really benefited more the first 100 years after slavery than we have in the last 50 years. I was born in 1937 during the Depression. Everyone in my small, low-income black community, 98% of the households had a man and a woman raising children. Elderly people could walk safely in that community without fear of being assaulted by their grandchildren. Never heard a gunfire during that time. Never heard of a child being shot to death in the crib. But there are 50 children today who have been shot and killed in our cities. You're talking about remedies. We've got to look beyond saying that every solution has to have a winner and a loser, that blacks can only benefit if whites lose. We have to be defined more than just victims of oppression.
How'd you guys feel about that video? Was he right or was he wrong? Comment below. Now, my next video is about an African American woman who tells the secret to living to be 100 years old. Now, don't we all want to be 100 years old? Watch this video.
Secret to being 100 years old.
That's hard to tell, but
Have a great
first take care of yourself. Eat properly. That's for sure. And drinking, smoking, put it down. No good. I mean, I'm saying I didn't do it. I still don't do it. I eat properly, though. I feel, and a lot of vegetables, and not too much sweets, which we all love. And as I can say, just take care of yourself. Don't stay out late at night and come and you have to jump up and go to work. That's no good for your body. So you take care of yourself. And then remember to pray.
Amen.
But you have to remember the person who's keeping you, right? Right. All right. We cannot do anything on our own. And one thing I do, I'll say my prayers in the bed in the mornings, and I say my prayers on my knees at night. Amen. And then whenever I go any place, thank God for taking me. Yep. Who else can take you other than God? Amen. Thank Him for taking you and keeping you and your family. That's right. So that's the best thing I can say.
That's the best.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
How'd you guys feel about that video? Was she right or was she wrong? Was her advice right or was her advice wrong? Comment below. Now, my next video is about a group of African Americans who talks about Africa Town in Alabama. Yes, my people, it is a place in Alabama called African Town. Watch this video.
They wanted to make this their Africa. They wanted everything right here.
This community at one time was self-sustaining. It had barbershops, grocery stores, cleaners, everything that you needed.
We had fruit trees everywhere. Everybody had chickens and gardens. There was always something cooked at somebody's house, and they cooked on wood stoves.
Africatown was family. Everyone looked out for each other. It was a place where we had pride.
When I start to talk about Africatown, sometimes I get a little emotional because it's nothing like when I grew up.
Up until the late 50s, Africatown was its own incorporated area. But Mobile began to court Africatown. And in the 60s, the city rezoned from residential to heavy industry because they wanted to get those taxes from those industries. So I can understand people in the area feeling as if they have been forgotten because they would just like to bulldoze everything in here, move these 2,000 people out, and just industrialize the rest of it. They figure if they ignore you and just let your house fall down, your people die off and buy off your land, then that's what they'll do.
How'd you guys feel about that video? Was they right or was they wrong? Comment below. Now, my take on today's videos is this. People, please do your research because a lot of information and a lot of history that we learn is just history that they want to teach you. That's not the correct history. You have to do your own digging, your own research. You might have to pay a little bit of money, but trust me, it will pay off because knowledge is power. The more knowledge you have, the more power you have, the more opportunity you have in life. I bet a lot of people, even me, never knew that it was a place in Alabama or even in America, period, called African Town. I have never heard of it until people sent us that video. I have never heard of any place called African Town. But I tell you what, I definitely was interested and I definitely appreciate learning about it. And when I learned about it, I couldn't stop digging deep into it and getting more information and more information. I even want to visit the place. Now, African Town is not looking how it looked back then, but it's still a great monument and a great place to visit as an African American. It's a lot of history that we don't know. It's a lot of our history that is hidden from us. So do your research because I know a lot of people never heard of African Town. But as you see, it was a beautiful place and it's a piece of history. Even if you're not from Alabama, but if you're from America, you want to know. It's so much histories in different neck of the woods, different states that we have no idea about. That's why it's important to do your research about your people to learn who you are or what your people have went through are the accomplishments your people have accomplished. Because trust me, I salute all the people who was part of African Town. I salute the people who are spreading the word about African Town so this generation can know about it. Even if African Town is dead now, they took it away. You know, they take everything away. They don't want us to have any striving business or community. It's good that people still have memories and people are still willing to speak up on it so we can learn about African Town so we can spread that information to our people. And just by having that connection, it's amazing. It's beautiful by knowing that our people started a place called African Town because a lot of us might not be able to go to Africa, but we can feel Africa in African Town. I definitely appreciate you guys watching these videos. I hope you guys learned something today. Remember, you guys are loved. Have a blessed day and take care.
This shit right here is fucking rich. How conservatives always say stuff like liberals hate the United States but refuse to leave it. It's funny because you fucking people hate the United States the most. Let's start off with the population. You can't stand people that are brown. You can't stand people that are black. You can't stand people that are from another country. You can't stand people that were from this country before you white folks got here. You basically can't stand Asians. You can't stand Latino people. You can't stand anyone that isn't Christian. You can't stand anyone that's Buddhist. You can't stand anyone that's Hindu. You can't stand anyone that's Satanist. You can't stand anyone that's Muslim. You can't stand anyone talking about their God in school unless it's your God. You can't stand people talking about simply being able to go to the goddamn bathroom without you being terrified that they're going to touch children, which it happens to be that most of your Christian conservative priests are the ones that's doing all the touching of children. Keep that in mind. You claim to stand up for life, but life only matters to you before it's born, because once the person is born, fuck them if they're not rich. Another thing, you can't stand people that aren't rich, and most of you are fucking poor thinking you're going to be rich, so you're backing these rich people thinking that someday it's going to be you. Fucking conservatives can't stand people that aren't heterosexual, cis norm. You can't stand gay people. You can't stand trans people. You can't stand non-binary people. You can't stand people not speaking English. You can't stand people that do speak English that don't look like you. You can't stand people speaking English with an accent because it's not your hillbilly hee-haw accent. You can't stand learning about the past because it hurts your little feelers, but then again, you want to live in the past because, oh God, Civil War, yay, Confederates were good people, stupid, even though they were like literally traitors to the Union. You can't stand people that actually want to vote and try to make the world better because you're constantly trying to stop them from voting. I mean, hell, even half your population is women, and you clearly can't stand women. You guys are ridiculous. You're always talking this shit like you refuse to leave. See, look, let me learn you something. Billy Bob. A patriot, a real patriot, true patriot, doesn't leave a country when they think it needs to be changed for the better. They stay and try to fix it. Most liberals are actually people that believe this country can be better, and it could be what it claims to be if people like you, buddy, people like you decided to actually change and start liking the people you claim to like. You know, the citizens of this great nation.